Jeff, your ears. Hello and welcome to this video. We are coming towards the end of the lockdown as I film this, although when you see this we'll be out of it. And instead of yet another video of us pottering around the flat, not really doing anything because really have no plans this weekend, or even any home plans this weekend, I thought instead of doing that I'd give you a little update on how we're getting on with our wedding plans and things like that. And as you can see, Jeff is with me today. So every now and again you might catch a glimpse of him and his ears and things as he moves about. When we got engaged we said that we probably wouldn't do a lot of planning until the new year, just so that we had a bit more idea on restrictions that might be in place, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, that didn't quite happen as I had thought, which is no bad thing at all. So since the vlog where I said about that we took our first steps, where we put together like a little guest list and stuff like that, I saw online somewhere that there was this free masterclass for wedding planning. Some woman, some company, she was trying to promote herself, but was giving free masterclasses to brides to be and how to think about what kind of colours and feelings and things like that that they were after for their wedding. So I thought, it's free, I'm a new bride to be, I would take up the offer of a free masterclass and see what I thought. So I took a few clips because there was 4 over like a week period, so sort of every other day for half an hour. So I'll add those little clips in now. So I signed myself up for some sort of wedding masterclass thing. Don't really know what I've signed up for, but it was free, so that's why we did it. And I think it's going to help me solidify like briefs that I'd send to like different suppliers and things. Looks like this one's going to try and teach me how to make a mood board. So I'm about to watch the first one and see what happens. Excuse the sputs. So I realised I didn't give you an update about these wedding masterclasses that I'm doing, so I've just done the 3rd one now. They're helpful but they're not helpful, if that makes sense. I don't think me and Pete are quite far enough in the planning process to be able to take full advantage of them, because there's a lot about knowing your venue and things like that, and we don't. But it was helpful to think about the colour scheme, and we had to do a quiz to work out what sort of styles we like. Pete is very much all of them. I think we're more sort of A and B, not that that means anything to you. And then the last one I've just done is sort of looking at what kinds of things each style would like, and I've jotted down some people to look at to see whether it actually is my style, particularly in photographers, because what I've learned, although it's probably kind of obvious to everyone else, is that a wedding photographer isn't just a wedding photographer. There's all different sorts of styles. There's your sort of fine art ones, there's your people that focus a lot on colour, so it's about finding someone that would take the kinds of photos that we want, but will also edit them in the kind of way that we want to. That makes sense? Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it's, you know, it's just keeping the brain ticking with the ideas. There's one more. I think it's not like a standard sort of Q&A, so we'll see what that one brings up. But as I say, I'm not sure we're quite far enough into our planning process. I'm sure there's loads of people taking part in this, and the people that comment are just like the keen beans, but they all seem to know exactly what they are and what that means for them, whereas I'm like, I don't know. I like that bit from that category and that bit from that category, but I don't like that bit from the same category as this side, and it's all a little bit confusing, to be honest. But certainly the old brain is ticking over with some ideas. And we're actually going to go and visit a venue this week, so that should be fun. So as you can see, they probably weren't that helpful. Me and Pete hadn't seen any venues, we hadn't gone anywhere. We were very new to it all. Is probably the best bet, and I think it was probably aimed at people that was slightly... Could you stop doing that please, Jeff? It's probably aimed more at people that have like had to cancel their weddings this year and all of that. And may I say, if that is you, my heart goes out to you. I don't think I would have coped if I had to cancel the wedding I spent 2 years planning and stuff, or if you decided to go ahead but had to really scale it back. I really feel for you. So yes, it was that one. And then, as you will have seen, we quickly went to see a venue. Weirdly, it was probably more Pete that encouraged us to do that. I think he was a bit more worried than I was that places might be booked up. Rightly so. So we went to see our first wedding venue, which was pretty exciting. I obviously couldn't take anything from the venue itself, but here's a few clips of us going and our thoughts on the place. Jeff.
Hey, hello buddy. Hello.
I'm just wrapping up work for the day. It's about 12:30 because me and Pete are going to go and see our first wedding venue today, which is exciting. So I've taken half day off work so that we can go and see that, because they don't do weekend viewings. But yeah, I've had a pretty decent day at work. I've got all my emails off, so there's nothing in my inboxes. I have a lot of inboxes because I work on a lot of programs. My to-do list here, I've got a lot of ticks on it, so that's good. So I'm feeling good today, and very excited about going to see our first venue. We have to drive up there because we're not getting married in London. So we have to, so that's why I've taken half day, because we've got to get up there. We've got to drop Jeff at Pete's parents' house and then go over to see the venue. I probably won't be able to film anything there, plus obviously I want to be in the moment to look at it and stuff, but I'll be sure to give you a little review, not a review, like what we think of it later on, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, really excited. Also, I realised the other day that today is the first time that we're actually going to see people since getting engaged, other than my brother. So it's the first time that anyone will have seen my ring in person, because when we saw my brother when we went to the Natural History Museum, if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it somewhere. My ring was being resized, so I didn't have it that day, so he hasn't seen it. Neither has anyone else other than me and Pete and the jeweller. So it's kind of exciting and kind of sad that I haven't had that opportunity to, you know, show it off to people. But we're starting the process earlier than I anticipated. Actually, we always said that we'd sort of leave it until next year, but we as you saw, we did a little bit of research and a bit of compiling a guest list and things, and started looking at places, and we contacted the one that we're going to see, because on paper they cover a lot of the stuff that we're after. So we contacted them just to see how it worked with COVID and stuff, and they said that they had a handful of dates left for when we're looking, so we got a bit panicked and decided to go and view it anyway. But I don't think it's an issue. I'm just really quite looking forward to it. I like being nosy at these things, but I don't really know what to expect. Obviously, this is the first wedding I've ever organised, so that's what we're after. Jeff, you gonna go have fun with the grandparents? It's now the day after, and I liked the place.
Yeah, it's really good.
I could see what we could do with the place, and also sort of imagine us and our families there. But is it weird to just go for the first one you see and not look at anything else?
We've looked at a lot of them online, haven't we? It's not
We
like
have looked at them online.
Well, you can't tell a lot from that.
And I think I said it in when I was explaining what we were doing, but the one that we went to see yesterday is very much, well, it ticks most of our boxes, doesn't it?
Yep.
Unlike pretty much all the other ones that we've looked at.
It's a really nice setting though, by the river and stuff.
Yeah, could have some nice photos there, definitely. So now we've got like 2 weeks to decide whether we should go for it or not.
Yeah, I've not had an email from them yet, but...
No, it won't come till Monday. She said it won't come till Monday.
Oh, did she? I missed that. Yeah.
Because obviously we went at 3 p.m. on a Friday. She's not going to have much time to...
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only downside to it was the bar was quite far away from the rest of the... When I say far away, I mean like...
It's not like miles. It's
just like a room extra, but like as in it's not in the middle of where everyone is.
Yeah, it's not where you're going to be dancing and stuff. It's not that close to that area, which could have its pros and cons.
Yep.
In that either, people won't get completely plastered.
Oh yeah, it's just a separate room. People can chat in, I guess, but it might separate everything better.
Yeah, that's my only sort of thought. Is that it just might mean that people are congregating elsewhere and then no one's dancing. But then I think about my family and I think that probably won't happen. But I don't know.
But yeah, no, that's good. If there's nice weather, it'd be a really nice place, I think. Seems pretty flexible with everything else.
Yeah, we are looking at a summer wedding, so... But yeah, a lot of it is very much down to us to make it how we want it. It really is sort of a shell, if that makes sense. A shell that provides food and drink.
Food looks good.
But Pete's excited for his potential tasting.
Be a while away, but yeah.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Exciting times. So as you can see, I was pretty, up in the air about whether you just go with the first place you see. And we did a lot more research online about possible places. Weirdly, where we're planning on getting married, there's not huge amounts of venues around, so it is slightly more limited in choice than other areas of the country. But we did look at a lot of venues online through their virtual tours and the pictures and stuff, and we have a very set sort of criteria of things that we want, and bedrooms and places for people to stay afterwards is high on our list, and nowhere really offers that. So we have actually decided to go with the first place that we saw, which I'm super happy about. The place is really nice. As I said, the grounds are really pretty and it's by the river and it's got a big long drive, so no one else is going to be able to see us, because that was some of the ones that were sort of close to being possibilities. They were all off like a main road and things like that. There just wasn't sort of that space, I guess. And inside the venue itself, there's a lot of scope for us to make it our own and make it personal to us, and that's a big thing for me. So we are currently in the process of sorting out the booking form and things like that. We've come to an agreement. There was a bit of toing and froing about canapes of all things, but we are now just waiting for them to send over the booking agreement. So fingers crossed, by the end of the year we will have signed that and paid our deposit. So that also means that we have a date. We know when we're going to get married, which is a bit crazy. Obviously not going to share the exact date, but it is in 2022 and it is summer. So you can expect a lot more wedding content coming up from me in the next 18 months, 2 years, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm very excited. And because we're in talks with the venue, we're not actually getting married there. The ceremony itself is going to happen in a church. For those of you that don't know, my dad is a church minister, so it's a big thing for me to be married in a church. I can't imagine my wedding day without a church wedding, really. So we've been in contact with the church that we earmarked, and they've penciled us in. We haven't yet been able to meet the minister, but that should happen in the new year. But obviously with lockdowns and all of this kind of stuff going on at the moment, it just hasn't been possible. And now we're leading into what is the busiest time of the year for them with Christmas and stuff. So in the new year we'll go and meet with him and discuss things. We already have had a bit of a chat with him. He's aware that this is very much for me. Pete isn't quite so into the whole thing, but he's happy to meet with us and to go ahead with it, really. So we're a lot further than I ever anticipated at this time of the year. As I said, we'd always intended on pretty much doing what we've already done early part of next year, but things have just gone a bit quicker than they would have, and actually I'm really happy about it. It's given us something to really focus on during this lockdown, trying to iron out some of the bits and bobs in the packages that we don't want, or we do want, or we want extra of this and this, that and the other. And it's nice now to have that date for us to focus on and work towards. So yeah, we're going into the new year with a venue, a ceremony venue, a date, a guest list. We're miles ahead from where I thought we'd be. So next really for us is to get some save the dates out. What we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it and all of that, I have no idea at the moment, but it's all very exciting. So I hope you've enjoyed this little update. As I said, the vlogs will be back next week. It's just really didn't have much to show you, but for coming next week is all sort of going to start the Christmas stuff. I think we're going to put our decorations up, so it should be good fun, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!